Well, Saturday night, and we're not at the movies. We're on chat with Greg, Bill. We got all the other guys you might recognise. We've got Tony Yates on there, Scusi, and David over there in Welsh Wales. Sam's getting excited. Sam took his Viagra pill, it got stuck in his throat, and the next minute, I don't know what happened. Saturday Night Madness on the Google Hangout. As you can see, there was guys popping in and out all night long. We had Christian Brew Beer in there as well. If any of you did see Christian in his urban camo onesie, I will put the Samaritan's number up at the end of the video so you can receive counselling. I don't know how he did that. Someone suggested to me last year about a onesie. Not gonna happen. Unless it's camouflage and it comes with a 12 gauge. Ah, well, another week has gone by. Total mayhem this weekend as I worked on the Saturday. So, not too much Friday night because I was driving Saturday. I had to do a large beer delivery over to Norwich for the festival, beer festival over there. So I don't know, about 2.5 tons of beer over there, several £1,000s worth anyway. But all got there safe and sound. And Sunday the mother-in-law was moving house, so yours truly got roped into the usual pick it up, take it apart, and move it, put it back together again, and turn the tallies in, and all that stuff that comes with house moving. And so the weekend went by quicker than a Homebrew Wednesday, which for one of mine would be a long one. But no, yeah, so the weekend came and went, and never happened really. And the way things are panning out at work, my weekends aren't going to exist probably during December, because I'll be working. I think I'll be working, which is bad from a relaxation brewing point of view, because I won't be able to, because I'll be working, but Wonga is always a good thing. Anyway, let's talk about beer. This week is for my subscribers in some place called Canada, wherever that is. I'm not really sure. It's north of America somewhere, in between Russia and big piece of sea in Greenland, apparently. Anyway, they make some beers. This one is Barking Squirrel. Don't know what you do over in Canada to make your squirrels bark, but it's by Hop City. I think, as far as I know, this is the only one that has made it across the pond. It's a American style hoppy lager, straight from the bottle. Not a huge whack on there. It's got what's it got in it? SARS and Hallertauer hops, 5% ABV, 24 IBUs, pale 2-row crystal malt, dark crystal malt, and Munich and torrefied wheat. So there's a few chucked in there, which is obviously filtered, apart from my greasy paw prints on the glass. That is crystal clear, light carbonation coming from the glasses. Nothing special on this one, it's just a straight glass. Very light fragrance on the nose. Surprising actually, for the level of carbonation drifting up the glass. It's quite a tingle on the tongue. You can taste a little bit of that darker malt. A little bit of sweetness. Just finished off with the bitterness from the sours. Not hugely flavoursome. It's not as hoppy as I was expecting, but I don't know how old they are at the time they get to us. But there's no bottling date on these. Some of them do cryptically hide a little batch number and date on the shoulder or neck of the bottle. Tricks of the trade. It looks like this one doesn't. A lot of our Canadian beers don't. There's only, I think, one Moosehead does and one doesn't. Why they do that, I don't know. Not as exciting as I was expecting. But it's wet and does the job. There's a little bit of hot bite. I haven't been drinking particularly hoppy beers at the minute, so it hasn't pushed my threshold up. Obviously it's only, what did I say, it was 24 IBU, so it's not going to be smacking you in the face like a kipper, is it? But this week's beer hauls I managed to complete because we had as you mentioned, a large delivery of Belgian beer. So I picked up the Belgian Guinness. So I now have the Irish export, the Nigerian export Guinness, and now the special export Belgian brewed Guinness, which is a tad 0.5% more than the other two. There's 7.5. This one weighs in at 8. I have had this one before. So basically I'm going to compare all three and see which one I think is the best. The one from the Emerald Isle, the one from Africa, or the one from Belgium. So that should be a good night consuming 3 beers at 7.5 and 8%. Although I believe the wife has volunteered her assistance for safety reasons. Also, while I was perusing our well-stocked shelves, it's that time of year in America where they get all excited about pumpkins and they start chucking them in beers. So I picked up 2 of the offerings that you can get over here from America, which is the Brooklyn Post Road Pumpkin Ale, which I had last year or the year before. I had a couple. Wasn't the Flying Dog one. That's the Imperial Pumpkin Ale, which comes in at 9%, hence the Imperial. And the Post Road is a bit more mellow. I think that's a 4.5, no 5%. Wasn't enamored with this last year. It was a nice ale, but pumpkin wise, not really. There's spices in it, but they're not. I mean, I don't mind that because I don't want to be overpowered by sort of cinnamon and nutmeg and things. But yeah, I thought I'd give them a crack as well. So I keep accumulating all these beers and thinking, I just want to sit and drink them. I want to put the camera up, and then I sort of sit down and I really don't want to put the camera up because I can't be asked because I'm too knackered. And I just end up drinking an ordinary beer, so I'm sort of like, oh, I'm running out of ordinary beers and I've got all the other ones I want to review, but just haven't had the time. But I did manage to scrounge another one from work with a little bit of dealing, a bit of Norfolk dealing. I swapped we got a new forklift at work, and the socket for the electrics is a different size to our outlet. Our outlet is 32 and the charger came with a 16 amp, not a 32. But I, in my many sheds, happen to have a surplus 3-phase 32 amp socket, plug rather. So I offered to donate it to a worthy cause. And Saturday when I got back from work, he mentioned how much, you know, I would want. Look at the friggin' little fruit flies in here. You know, in exchange for my little socket. So he sort of said, yeah, oh no, he did do us a deal, you know. I said, well, I've got my eye on a bottle of out of date down in the beers that have seen better days. You know, the vintage section, as we like to say. So he said, what is it? And I said, well, I'm not sure what it's called, a Bockris or a Borkis, something like that. I said, it's in a stone bottle. He said, oh yeah, I know the one you mean. He said, yeah, you can have that one. And I thought, because it's nearly 10 quid in the shop. So I got free beer for exchange of a socket. It's a 750ml Belgian ale, 7.2%, and it's got a crown cap, but so you can enjoy it at your leisure. You can reseal it with a swing top. Neat idea. And it's called a Bockris, I believe, if my pronunciation is correct. I think it's on the Dutch side of the Belgian speaking land. So I picked that one up. It's quite heavy. I'm going to put that down. Big heavy stone bottle. Yes, yeah, so we done alright. I did finally get my additional camera tripod, which is 72 inches, 6 foot, so she stands quite well tall. It's not the best quality one in the world, even though Polaroid's name is on it, but I got it for a good price, 20 quid delivered, brand new, just shit packaging. But I'd sniffed it out on eBay, another one of the old eBay bargains, and while I was spending some hard earned, I also picked up my no, it's not a sex toy, you dirty people. It is a little tube heater. You might have seen a few on people's videos in their fridge stroke fermentation chambers. This is obviously just to put in the bottom and generate some heat. This little 1 foot model is a 60 watter. There was a couple that were you know, a pound cheaper, but they looked a little bit more poorer quality, and some of them are only rated at 40 watts, 45 watts, 50, depending on, I think it's the specs of the sheet. I mean, basically most of them are made probably in the same factory anyway, but I went for this one. Comes with a fitted plug on the end, some don't. Doesn't really matter if you wire it into an STC controller, but yeah, it's got the standard UK plug on it. I did try it, turned it on, and there was a little bit worried to start with, and I thought it was probably the mica foil insulation material on the electric element that was burning off any grease or something. There was smoke coming out the end, and I thought, that's not a good sign usually. But I left it on for about 3 or 4 hours, and it got hot enough. You could still grab hold of it, well I can, with me thick old leathery hands, but yeah, just hopefully one will be enough for the big fridge. If not, I might have to double up with a pair of these. I have got some longer ones, but obviously if they go right up the back of the fridge, then you've got to cut the shelving out to allow for the tube to go up the side, and obviously you've got to be careful where you drill in fridges. If you've watched Tiny's video on fridges, because you'll end up drilling into one of the coolant lines, and then you won't have a very useful fridge. So yeah, that was this week gone. Been and done. So we now start this week, which for me is a mad rush to decorate these stairs, because I've got to take the stair lift out, get carpet fitters in, and wait for a new stair lift to be put in. And I can't get a holiday booked. Joy. Anyway, Shout out to Bill of Brewing with Bill, our Google Hangout we had on Saturday night. If you haven't watched his video yet for this week, or you haven't subscribed to his channel, check out Brewing with Bill. If I can find the link and bung it in the comments box down below, I will do. Go over his channel and hit the subscribe logo. He has recently written a book on, I think it was Centrica in Pennsylvania. You might have seen it on Discovery Channel or something like that. It was a town that basically built on a coal seam, caught fire, and it's still burned to this day under the ground. But because he's obviously getting into writing books, he hit upon an idea to give something back to the YouTubing brewing community of creating a BrewTubers recipe book, where we basically email him with one of our presumed successful recipes and he was going to produce a recipe book of all our recipes, be them all grain, extract, or kit and kilo with a few extra bits and pieces. You put a recipe over to him, and when he's obviously got enough and can collate them into enough material to create a book, he will do that, and I presume offer it on Amazon as a Kindle download or a hardback version, I guess. I don't know, I haven't got to that stage yet, but yeah, great idea, Bill. I fully support that, and I'll plug it, as I just have. Anyway, cheers to all my new subscribers. There are now, I was going to say 147, it's 447 subscribers, so cheers. One day we will do some brew related footage. Hopefully it'll have to be pretty soon, because stocks are running low, and so is time to get some brews in for Christmas. And obviously I do have the advantage of working in the brewing industry, so probably not as pushed as everyone is, but still like to brew my own when I get the chance. So I will leave you to watch yet another homebrewless video. Cheers, till next week. Catch you again.